Hi, I'm Kaylee, and we're presenting Module 19, Hearing, Skin, Chemical, and Body Senses. Audition is the sense or act of hearing. How we hear, just like how we see, has to do with waves. These waves vary in shape. The height or amplitude of the waves determines the perceived loudness that we hear. The frequency of the waves determines our pitch, or the tones that we experience, whether high or low. So short wavelengths are high frequency, high pitched sounds. Long wavelengths are low frequency and low pitched sounds. Great amplitude, meaning the higher the amplitude, is loud sounds, and lower amplitude equals soft sounds. So, how does hearing work? Sound travels through the ear canal and hits the eardrum, causing it to vibrate. These vibrations are picked up by the bones of the inner ear, the malleus, incus, and stapes. These vibrations then enter the cochlea, where the cochlear hairs pick up the decibels and frequencies of the wavelengths. Those frequencies are translated by our auditory nerves and then sent to our auditory cortex in the temporal lobe. There are two main types of hearing loss: sensorineural and conduction hearing loss. Sensorineural is the most common form of hearing loss that is caused by damage to the cochlear receptors in the cell. This form of hearing loss, many people can hear sounds but have trouble discerning what's being said or where the sounds are coming from. With conduction hearing loss, a less common form of hearing loss, this is caused by damage to the mechanical systems that conduct sound waves. So, conduction hearing loss tends to be disease or genetically related. Toxic noise, such as prolonged exposure to ear-splitting music or loud noises on a job site, can cause hearing loss. So, hearing aid helps that we have. Cochlear implants are for when your cochlear nerves do not work. It's a brain surgery where they put a device on you and you have electrical signals that go through your cochlea that stimulate the nerves that send the sounds to your brain. And hearing aids amplify the different levels of sounds, making it easier to help people with moderate to severe hearing loss. So the psychological impact of hearing loss. In children born deaf or with hearing loss, they experience a sense of lack of connection, isolation, as well as inadequate resources. This is especially true when parents try to fix their deafness or make them as close to hearing as possible, instead of giving them all the resources that they need. Because of our brains developing so early with the language, if they do not receive that language, it makes it a lot harder later in life to learn and understand language. People who lose their hearing later in life experience isolation, relationship issues, and communication problems because part of their normal life has been changed so drastically. So hearing enables relationships. When we hear someone, we're connected to them. Hearing humanizes people. When we read words on a text or see it on a Facebook page, we can't hear or feel their emotions or meaning. When we hear them, we can feel what the person is feeling and be able to understand what they're going through better. Hearing also conveys emotions. When we hear what people are saying, we can pick up on the minute little details that change in their vocal patterns and how they're speaking. We can feel their emotions or how they're passionate about a subject just by their hearing.
Hi, my name is Alicia Beechler. I'm doing touch, pain sensors, and skin. So with our touch, our touch is our tactile sense. From the start, touch aids our development while we're growing. Our sense of touch is actually a mix of these four basic distinct skin senses, which is cold, warmth, pressure, and pain. There was two experiments, the rat experiment and Harlow's monkey experiment, where rats deprived of their mother's grooming produce less growth hormone and have lower metabolic rate. Infant monkeys that are allowed to see, hear, and smell but not touch their mothers become desperately unhappy. There was a Harlow's experiment where he put a baby monkey inside of a cage with two mothers. One mother provided nourishment and the other was just wrapped in cloth. The baby monkey obviously chose the nourishment monkey when it was hungry, and then it chose the cloth monkey for just like the touch and the sensation of it. Harlow was really surprised to see that the baby monkey chose the cloth monkey instead of the nourishment monkey almost all of the time. It only chose the nourishment monkey when it was hungry, which shows that touch and everything is very crucial to development. So our pain sensors, pain is your body's way of telling you that something has gone wrong by drawing your attention to a break, burn, scrape, if you broke your arm, any kind of pain. Analgesia is the feeling of no pain at all. It's a rare condition. The other is hypoanaplasia, and it's a term for low sensitivity to pain. So pain is a gift, Ashlyn Walker said. She was a psychologist, a doctor. At birth, she didn't cry. As a child, she ran around with a broken ankle for 2 days. She reached into boiling water and grabbed a fallen spoon. Pain, I cannot feel it, is what she said. So with the pathway of pain, there's 4 pathways: transduction, transmission, modulation, and perception. Transduction is when we touch hot items, get in a fight, etc., or feel pain at all. That's when the nerve endings of nociceptors to turn a noxious stimulus into a nerve signal. The second one is transmission. Once the brain gets informed with past stimulus, the transmission transfers the signals to central nervous system. The third one is the pain modulation. It modifies how much ache we feel. It regulates the feeling of soreness to the brain and the dorsal horn of the spinal cord. The second order neurons of the cord create the path for pain. The last one is perception. People feel pain different ways. Some people have a high pain tolerance and some people have low pain tolerance. There are 3 main activities: thinking, expecting, and interpreting. So the gate control theory is the theory that the spinal cord contains a neurological gate that blocks pain signals or allows them to pass to the brain. The gate is opened up by the activity of pain signals traveling up small nerve fibers and is closed by activity in the large fibers or by information coming from the brain. So some psychological influences are powerful influences on perception of the pain is attention that we focus on it. So hypnosis can be used to treat pain, working based on social influence theory and disassociation influence theory. So for our skin, the psychodermatology is a field of psychology that addresses both physical and mental aspects of skin conditions. So touching various spots on the skin with a soft hair, warm, cool wire at the end, the point of pain reveals some spots are especially sensitive to pressure, others to warmth, others to cold, and others to pain. So somatosensory is located in the parietal lobe and is processed all bodily sensations. So if it gets damaged, it can lead to paresthesia, which is the tingling sensation in certain parts of the body. So stroking adjacent pressure spots creates a tickle. Repeated gentle stroking of pain spots creates an itching sensation.
Hi, my name is Monica Leon, and I'm covering chemical senses, taste, and smell. So chemical senses is the ability to taste and smell. These senses are very important to where we are as humans today because smell and taste has helped detect unfamiliar and dangerous substances. They are specifically called the chemical senses because they help detect chemical compounds. Taste and smell receive information through chemical receptors. The chemical senses then use the receptors to transmit impulses to the brain. According to the Oxford English Dictionary, taste is the sensation of flavor perceived in the mouth and throat on contact with substances. Our ability to taste starts in the tongue and the taste buds on the tongue. Throughout the tongue, the taste buds are structured in papillae. Different nerves pick up taste in different areas of the tongue. There are 5 categories of taste. They include sweet, sour, bitter, salty, and savory. The ability to taste is affected by our ability to smell. Smell is the facility or power of perceiving odors or scents by means in the organs of the nose. Smelling starts with the nose and the olfactory nerves within it. The olfactory nerves contain smell receptors that transmit chemicals to the brain. What would happen if we did not have taste? Well, the lack of taste and smell puts you at risk for many things. For one, you're at higher risk of food poisoning because you cannot detect whether the food has spoiled. The nose will not be able to detect other smells such as smoke, gas, or harmful chemicals in your environment. In some cases, losing smell results in the loss of appetite, and this can result in weight loss, poor nutrition, and sometimes depression. Not only does sense of taste detect harmful chemicals and poison, according to the American Psychological Association, without taste, the quality of life is significantly diminished. And in this diagram, it represents how these signals work together. So as this person smells the flower, odorants bind to receptors, and then olfactory receptor cells are activated and send electrical signals. The signals are relayed by converged axons, and then the signals are transferred to higher regions of the brain.
Hi, my name is Sean Rogers, and I'm talking about body positions and their movement. Kinesthesia is our movement sense. It is our system for sensing the position and movement of our individual body parts. Vision interacts with kinesthesia. Like when you stand on one foot and close your eyes, you wobble. Our vestibular sense is our balance sense. This is our sense of body movement that enables our sense of balance. And your biological gyroscopes that work for your body's sense of equilibrium are two structures in your inner ear: fluid-filled semicircular canals and calcium crystal-filled vestibular sacs. These are stimulated by movement. This vestibular sense is very fast. If we trip, it automatically and instantly orders a skeletal response. Overview of the human senses. Sight. The cornea and lens light focuses light reflected from objects in the world onto the retina in the back of the eye. Hearing. As sound waves travel through the eardrum, they cause the eardrum and bones to vibrate. These vibrations are converted into electric pulses for your auditory nerves to process. Smell. Odor receptors are stimulated by microscopic molecules released by the substances around us. Taste. Taste buds have microscopic hairs called microvilli. These tiny hairs send messages to the brain about how something tastes. And then touch. Sensation starts in your touch receptors and makes its way through your sensory nerves until it reaches your brain to process. The function of these senses are that sight allows us to be aware of our surroundings. Hearing is so we can detect, transmit, and introduce sound, as well as helping us maintain our balance. Smell is for finding food, detecting toxic substances, as well as appreciating food's flavor. Smell is a key component for our sense of taste. And then taste helps us detect toxins in our foods to keep us safe. And touch allows us to receive information about internal and external environments. And then the link to psychology for all this is psychology is linked to the five senses through perception. Sensation and perception work together in order to make sense of our world. Psychologically, it helps us with the ability to pay attention to ourselves as well as sensations and emotions.